Good afternoon and welcome to this TSL clash between Glenorchy and Launceston. A few technical issues we've just been ironing out, but underway here in the first quarter between the Magpies and the ladder leading Launceston. I'm Andrew Cooling. Joining me soon will be Tubes Taylor. Looking forward to this Saturday afternoon clash. A few technical issues with the audio we're walking through at the moment, but the clash underway. Pretty wet kind of an afternoon down here in Hobart. It's been a pretty wet kind of a week, really. Wouldn't expect the highest skilled display today. Could be pretty tough conditions for the players as Jake Hines tries to shake out of there. Coming through was Fletcher Seymour. It's a strong tackle laid there. The umpire says we'll ball it up here in the opening moments of this TSL clash. First of 3 games this afternoon. Rack's ready to go at it there. Hamish Leedham been in fine form this season. Once again, it's Jake Hines first to the fall of the football. Handball back to Blowfield, but the umpire spotted something. Gave the free kick to Thompson, kept it moving quickly. They send it down the line. Spoiling from behind was Jamison House. And just picking it up before it goes out of play is Casey Brown. The umpire to tumble it back into play. Deegan taking on Leedham in the ruck duel early on here. And this time it's Deegan who wins it down. Magpies just looking to get a little bit of field position. Looking forward there. Groenewegen lurking. What a super season he's having for this Launceston side. Jay Blackberry, of course, breaking the TSL games record here this afternoon. See if he can get involved. It'll be a clearance going the way of the Magpies through Deegan, though. He sends the hosts forward for the first time this afternoon. Defender did really well there, House, not to interfere and concede the free kick. Now it's Casey Brown escorting it out of play. A bit going on off the ball here. Bodies flying in. Brown at the heart of it, and the umpire's plucked a free kick. It'll go the way of the Magpies. They'll get it moving quickly. Sends it into the forward line. It fell there to Daly. The snap from the pack is good. And the Magpies have got the first of the afternoon. It's Adam Roberts who struck. And the Magpies draw first blood here against the Blues. Good piece of roving there from Roberts. And first shot, first goal. Perfect start for the hosts here. A mammoth task facing them this afternoon against the ladder leading Blues, who've just been so dominant this season, just dropping the one game, an 8-1 record, percentage sitting at 245. It's an enormous challenge facing Glenorchy, who have improved their record to 3-6. I'm going to have a Lauderdale a couple of weeks back. But back in the middle here. It's a good tackle laid. Strong stuff from Darren White there. Oh, sorry, John Geard rather. So we'll go again from the middle. This time Leedham won it decisively. The handball was good from Seymour to Hines. Hines went searching from Groenewegen. Couldn't quite find him. The free kick will go the way of Launceston too. Groenewegen though, and he just hands it off to Dylan Riley, who thumps them deep inside. 50 flying from behind was Big Thorpe. Nearly pulled down an absolute hanger. The record breaker Blackberry from the pocket. Jay Blackberry, what a goal! Well, how's that to mark a special day? It's a brilliant goal from Jay Blackberry from the pockets. Snapping it from the tightest of angles. And they answer right back here. 1 goal apiece. Launceston and Glenorchy, a fantastic goal that from Jay Blackberry, who becomes the TSL Games record holder this afternoon, surpassing Jay Bowden, of course, famous son of Glenorchy in that department. But fantastic milestone for him.
Yeah, could you change your camera to 720i50?
212 games. And a goal to start this one off and get Launceston back on terms. A goal apiece as the Magpies take it out of the middle once more. They'll send this one tumbling in the direction of Roberts. Couldn't quite find him. Ball in at half forward. So back into play. One down decisively by Leadham. Kick swinging towards the wing. Not quite able to intercept there was Donnellan, although he'll take it eventually. Jack Donnellan takes his time and then just slams it into the man on the mark. So well defended, but just a little rush there from Donnellan. So the wind taking a hold of that one. Keeps it tight to the boundary. Picked up down there by Ben Camerick. Such a key threat for this Magpies team. You can see the effect the wind having on the ball there. That's what's led to a few of our technical problems here. As you think the sound sounding a little bit off, we're working on that. But yeah, pretty tough conditions, although the sun out for the time being, as Leadham again wins this one down. But once more the umpire spotted something. This time it'll go the way of James Deegan. The Magpies ruck, who just absolutely launches this one high in the air towards half forward. Coming in from the side down there was Tuthill. Out of play for another throw in. So the Magpies doing well in the territory battle here early on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Coming in as underdogs against this rampant Launceston side, but going toe to toe with them early on. You see in screen there a certain Joby Harper who's made his return to the Launceston lineup. On the left there, what an inclusion he is to be able to just inject into your side midway through the season. Joby Harper, an absolute superstar. Frightening to think what Launceston have been achieving without a player of his calibre in there. So this time Deegan wins it down. Ground level, the Blues will get a few metres, but it's going to come right back inside 50. The relieving mark was taken down there by Wright, who gets them moving quickly, and he finds Harper. Harper turns and sends them outside defensive 50. Just put it out in front of the speedy Grant Holt. Stooped to pick it up and then flung the handball out to Smith. Smith playing his 150th today, worked it further afield and found Gronowagon. This is lovely ball movement all the way to Paul Freeman inside 50. Just had free men the whole way down the wing there. Plays on quickly, hands off to Smith. Smith, well, I'm not sure that was particularly well advised. Was trying to pick out a lead of Dylan Riley and turned it straight over. Riley lays the bump here, just impacts the kick a little. Juggling the mark was Meredith, couldn't quite complete it. Now it falls to Hines, but the free kick is coming back and it's going to go the way of Brendan Taylor. So Taylor to send the Blues forward once more. He's got a couple of good leads, and he spots one in Jake Hines. It'll still take a fairly handy kick from this distance with the wind howling through KG5 as it is. But Jake Hines, a superstar of the competition, will certainly be more than capable. So, to give the visitors the lead, he'll wheel inside onto the left and kick from 45. He sends it goalward, Jake Hines. Goal umpire does not move. Superb stuff from Launceston's number one. Their star midfielder finds their second of the day. They skip out to 2 goals straight 6. The Magpies 1 straight 6. And both of Launceston's goals have been pretty spectacular. First one in particular, Blackberry from tied up against the line, and there was Hines on what is not going to be the easiest day for goal kicking, just wheeling inside 50 and putting it straight back over the umpire's head. Lovely stuff. And the Blues take the advantage here. Good battle developing early on at KG5. So into the ruck now is Cody Thorpe as the Blues go forward once more. Gronowagan won't get there. White first to the ball. White trying to gather. Gronowagan pressuring him well, though. The handball came back to Fletcher Seymour. In tight corridors, he worked well. Got the handball further afield, searching for Taylor, but White was there to shut that one down and force the boundary throw in. Forward for Launceston, who are starting to grind their way on top after a bright opening couple of minutes from the Magpies. Cody Thorpe to take on Deegan in this ruck contest. Going to play once more. Magpies will get the clearance away. Into the middle of KG5 they go. Plenty of bodies parked back there for the Blues, though, and eventually they'll find Colby McKercher. McKercher flung the handball out. They'll try and work it wide here through Tuthill. Couldn't quite get Joby Harper. Put his body on the line well. Now picked up down there by Joseph, but the free kick will go the way of Harper. Back in the lineup and driving his side forward here. Searching kick. Couldn't quite be brought down by Groenewegen. Bouncing away with it is Blackberry. Blackberry will pump them forward once more. That one's floating. I don't know if it'll stay inside the field of play. It won't. The free kick going the way of the Magpies in the back pocket. So I'll take it outside 50, but it is all Launceston back there. Just three men seemingly everywhere. Joby Harper. And once get the ball, it was a pretty dicey kick, though, in between two of his teammates, and it just gave a little chance in there to Manson, who fought on well. Launceston still get a forward, though, and the mark taken by Donnellan. So all's well that ends well for the visitors there. And Donnellan with a set shot. Just the numerical advantage working out quite nicely, so it didn't matter so much that Harper split the difference between his two teammates on the kick. So Donnellan now can go back for goal number 3 for Launceston. They're well on top here at the moment. He goes back with the left foot. It's another lovely kick. They're executing their goal kicking very nicely indeed to start this game, the Blues. 3 straight 18. They skip out to a 12-point lead over Glenorchy, 1-6. And that was a lovely stroke of the football there from Jack Donnellan. He joins Hines and Blackberry in the goal scorers column. So 12 minutes gone. First quarter of KG5. And the Blues, after conceding the first, working their way on top of this contest. So once again, Deegan to take on Thorpe. Thorpe won it down, but charging through was Jake Hines. Can he spot a target, Hines? He just kicks into the forward pocket for a leading Dylan Riley. Well, that is the silver service you love as a forward. Dylan Riley just leads into the pocket. Hines charging out of the centre. Just puts it into the open space for his superstar forward. And the most prolific goal kicker in the TSL can go back and send it through number 4. His teammates have been kicking straight so far this afternoon, as does Dylan Riley. This is great goal kicking from Launceston. Glenorchy will be hoping they miss one eventually, because they're absolutely getting full value for their chances at the moment. It's 18 points. It's Dylan Riley kicks goal number 47. Approaching that half century is the prolific Dylan Riley. What a season he's having. Another bag of 8 last week. Kicked 9 against Glenorchy in the previous meeting. And firm chance, you'd suspect, to bring up the half century at KG5. So Thorpe wins this one down decisively. Trying to get away, I think it was Camerick, but that's a great tackle. And in the end, the throw paid against Camerick. So the free kick going the way of Paul Freeman, who laid the tackle, and he'll swing the Blues forward once more. It is a siege that the Glenorchy defence is under at the moment. Here's Joby Harper. Handball back to Seymour, back to Harper. Harper sends it forward, and it's a good relieving mark taken back there. I think it was Dominic Brown for the Magpies. Good mark under pressure there. And this defence really suffering an onslaught at the moment. They can't clear the area. It's going to come right back through Blackberry, although he slipped to his hands and knees, and the handball over the line. A little messy in the end, but 24-6. Glenorchy kicking the first goal. Since then, it's been all one-way traffic. And the red-hot favourites showing just why. The Magpies needing something badly to stem the tide here. As Thorpe's been good since moving into the ruck. He's in the better of Deegan at the moment. Brown trying to work it forward. In on top now is Geared. He too is wrapped up by Brendan Taylor. And we'll go again. So Meredith this time trying to compete in the ruck, flying high. Handball forwards from Paul Freeman. Going absolutely nowhere was Fletcher Seymour. So Thorpe and Meredith. Thorpe with a fair size advantage. Brought down there was Blackberry in a good tackle. No prior opportunity, however. So once again, the game just in a slight holding pattern here at the moment. Quarter of an hour mark of the first term. And once again, just monstering his opponent was Thorpe. They send it deep. Magpies have the numbers, but Dylan Riley was one there for the Blues, and he almost gathered it. No one able to pick the ball up cleanly. Eventually, nicely done by Blowfield. Coming through from the tight angle is Paul Freeman to the top of the square, but it's a good relieving mark taken back there by Rybelt. Now can he find a teammate here and just calm things down? Well, that's definitely not 15. Play will need to keep moving here as White sends them outside defensive 50. It's going to come right back at them, though, through Holter. Just chips it inside 50 and finds Fletcher Seymour. Tough kick from here, though, tight to the boundary line, so he just plays on and finds Jay Blackberry in plenty of space. But the umpire was setting the mark, I believe, so he might have to take this one again, Fletcher Seymour. And that indeed will be the case. Blackberry was eyeing off goal number 2. Reluctantly will give it back to young Seymour. So, tough kick here. Will he wheel inside and have a shot? No, he just stands it up instead to the top of the square. Not a bad option. Plenty of bodies there. And a free kick has been spotted. And it's going the way of Dylan Riley. No, it's going to go to Pitcher. Riley just handing him the ball. So, Braden Pitcher with the chance. They're just pumping the ball inside 50 time after time. Overwhelming this Glenorchy defence here at the moment. They just can't get a handle on the football. That's a flood of goals at KG5 at the moment for number 5 inside the opening 20. Once again, the goal umpire does not need to move. Pitcher, the latest to add his name to the score sheet. And it is 5 straight now for Launceston. They kick away to a handy 24-point break. Braden Pitcher, the latest. And they are well on top here at the moment. Launceston. Host badly needing a response here. So can they get something out of the middle here? They're just walking it out right now. The Blues. Paul Freeman went down to get that one. Hines in there, and there'll be a ball up once again inside the centre square. So they desperately need the next one just to settle things down here, or this could get particularly ugly. They'll take it away here through Ben Camerick. Camerick swinging them forwards, but extending the jukes and marking nicely down there's Meredith. Can they get something here, the Magpies? They need to find a mark inside 50, and just leaping a little earlier. That one was Gunther, but off the deck. A free kick's been paid. That will cut the Glenorchy celebrations short as they were wheeling off to celebrate. I saw the umpire signal, and indeed he's overturned that one. So it'll remain at 24 points, and it is, well, a real blow for the Magpies, who badly needed that one. As we approach the 20-minute mark of the first term, Thorpe got hands to it, brought it down, and charging through now is Josh Woolley. Slightly over the top of his teammate there in Glenorchy will allow the Magpies in. Just taking his time to assess the options was White. Tumbled an ugly-looking kick. It worked out all right, though, to McKnight. McKnight able to then send them forward, but well defended by Alec Wright there. Oh, showing some good strength to bounce it off. A bit of the don't argue from Alec Wright. Don't mind that. Swings the Blues to half forward. That might be in the back there against Donnellan. Handball over the top came from Glenorchy, and they're looking on again here, the Blues. Paul Freeman sends them inside 50 to the danger man, Riley. Riley gives the handball back, and the snap-on goal from Joby Harper. He's off target for the first behind of the afternoon. It's just sliding in for the first time this afternoon. Better late than never, Tube State.
Oh, look, I'm sorry, Andrew. It's a rough day, isn't it? The dark mofo traffic out there. Who would have thought they were coming out here to Glenorchy as the kick comes in and finds the opposition colours in Donnellan. Donnellan looks up, down towards Riley. Riley leading beautifully. Has it made it inside the boundary? I think so. Yes, good, strong mark there to Riley. Tough angle here for the Launceston great, who's already got one to his name. I listened to you in the car on the way in, and it's been a blue wave since about the first opening 2 minutes of this game of footy here at KG5. Short one's on here, and a nice kick to the milestone man, Jay Blackberry, who's already got one himself. So they might be looking to get him a bag on his 213th TSL match, the veteran.
Well, if Glenorchy don't start manning up these defensive 50 situations, he will kick a bag. Of course, that was just far too easy, and it's not the first time this afternoon they've just been able to chip to a free man inside 50 there, and really no excuses for those kind of things. They're the basic fundamentals you've got to get right, as Blackberry will just stroll on in, and he's done it. He's kicked his second, so his strong afternoon continues. And this one has the potential to get ugly early on here. We've travelled just 21 minutes and they've already kicked 6 tubes.
No, it's a great start for the Launceston Blues. And who would have thought that Glenorchy would have kicked the first goal, Drewy, but that's the way it went. The Blues now with 6 goals, 1-37. Lead Glenorchy 1-6. And it is 21 minutes gone in the first term.
It's been pretty dominant stuff out of the middle, really. Ever since, well, probably about the 2 or 3 minute mark. They've barely gone forward. They went forward once and they got the free kick against them. So desperately needing a goal is an understatement. They need a spark from this man, Camerick, who so often is the man to make things happen. You swing them inside 50. That's a good defensive tackle, and the defence well on top, although that's an intercept here for Joseph, who'll swing them inside 50. Wasn't the best kick, just needed to take his time. Strong tackle laid in defence by Daly, and a ball up.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Glenorchy are going to get back into this match, but you're right. I think it needs to be done by their leaders, Camerick, Joseph, and that man, Cal Daly. So they've all got their hands on the footy in the last couple of moments. Camerick now over the footy, gets wrapped up in a quick tackle, got his scoopy little handball out. Joseph now is bending one around. Deegan just couldn't quite take the mark. Cop one a little bit high. Umpire said no, play on. Now a big tackle laid. Deegan's down behind play still. And the umpire will call this holding the footy. Well, tough for the Pies there as Riley Oakley gets up off the bottom of the pack. Inboard ball comes into the corridor. Nice kick. Finds a teammate down there in Seymour. Seymour goes across the face even further, and they're looking to switch here at Launceston. There's a man out wide if he wants it. Instead, Hodge goes short. Now the handball is scoopy across from Tuthill. And now the Blues find the man in the wing in Joby Harper, who comes back from injury. His kick bouncing out on the wing in the path of Hines. Shrugging a tackle out there is the man from Snowy River. And we'll see the play go on.
So Paul Freeman directs them forward, but that was a poor kick, easily cut off back there. Although, again, it's just going to be turned straight back over to Grant Holt on this occasion. He swings it in, and no one really wants to keep hold of the football. And he, in turn, gives it straight back to Isaac Manson. So, a scrappy passage of play here as Manson sends it out wide. A desperately diving Thompson tried his utmost, but couldn't get there to keep it in play. There'll be a ball in. I did say early on the conditions might make a little scrappy out there and perhaps make it tough to execute the skills. We've seen that a bit around the ground, certainly not in the goal-kicking department. Launceston have been dobbing them from absolutely everywhere in this first quarter. Some very nice kicks as from the base of the pack. Roberts got the handball out. The quick kick forward now to the wing in the Turner direction. But once again, it's going to be gathered out there by young McKercher. McKercher found Fletcher Seymour. The youngsters combining for the Blues. He wanted the handball over the top to Smith. Thought better of it. Instead, wheels and swings them to half forward with a high kick gathered there by Gronewagen. It's going to come out through Camerick. Got it to Deegan. Deegan just slams it on the boot. Searching there for Rybelt, who'll take the mark. This is as promising as it's been for a while here for the Magpies. It wasn't the best kick, but bounced all right for Deegan. There are plenty of numbers, but here's where they've been breaking down. And once more, not particularly good kick have a pretty good contest in the end there. Oakley in between four. They've probably done well to force a stoppage if they can get one, the Magpies. As tumbling out of there was Oakley, but they'll take it, I reckon, Chiefs.
Yeah, I think you're right, Drewy. Just in that passage of play, it was skill execution. They had the footy. They just couldn't execute their skills. It's a little bit blustery out here at KG5. Out it comes now. Leadham in the ruck takes possession of the footy, and the umpire says, no, I'll take it, and throw it up again. So Deegan and Leadham will go at it again. Deegan got pushed in the back, according to him. Daly with a handball to a man under extreme pressure. Handball out came from Hines. Seymour now brings the ball out to the wing. Running after that is Greenwagon. Hot on his hammer, though, is the big man White. White got a hand of the footy. Now it comes out for Disco Camerick. He handballs off to McKnight. McKnight with another handball out to Gunther. Gunther with a bit of time and space here. They leave him alone. Gee, how far has he run? An absolute 6 kilometre distance there. Handball, though, was missing the mark. And now the Blues will wrap it up. Hodge goes long. It just gets past that man there and Smith. Through the ball comes now McKercher with a kick around the corner. Diving at the footy is Blowfield, and he'll just take the mark here at centre wing and move the ball into Joseph.
Blowfield chipping back inside. Daniel Joseph. You'd imagine there's still a couple of minutes here for the Magpies to work with and try and pull one back before the break. They kicked the opening goal. They haven't scored since. It's been all Launceston, but a chance to send the ball deep inside 50. Just buffered it off. It was Joseph. A dumping tackle. Was that in the back there on Thompson? Play allowed to continue, and they'll clear the area here for the Blues. Foot race developing on the wing, turning sharply and picked up nicely by Manson. Now a little bullet to half forward, and the mark taken down there by Harry Gunther. It'll just turn, and he'll stand it up to the teeth of goal. Flying with the fist there was Smith, and then off target was Camerick as he tried to make something happen from the pocket. First behind of the day for the Magpies.
Well, I didn't mind that bit of play there from the Magpies. It looked good. The big penetrating kick from Gunther was a good one. Camerick at the right spot at the right time just couldn't finish. So the Blues will bring it out from full back to the near wing here. Long kick in the Greenwagon direction. Punched away nicely by Joseph. Now Gunther hits it to a man in trouble who was Oakley. Oakley, though, got his handball out somehow. Greenwagon there just throwing about 6 Magpies off his back. And we'll see a ball up here at half forward for the Pies. Umpire, I thought he might have been signalling a free kick there, but he's just telling people to get out of my way. Nice ruck contest. Down it comes there was Thompson. He couldn't quite get it away. Umpire's pulled out a free kick. It will go the way of the Magpies to Thompson. So Thompson with a short one. Gunther, he'll have to fly. Gee, that was just popped up too high for him, and through was Tuthill. Tuthill doing a great job in the back pocket. Handballs over to the big ruckman in Leadham, and he throws it on the boot. Big long fly over the back. Umpire's pulled out another free kick here. Which way is it going? It's going to the Magpies. So Greenwagon will take it from just forward to centre for the Blues. Handballs over the top. Spinning out of trouble, there's McKercher. Just selling a bit of candy. Hot on his hammer was Nicholson. Did all right and put enough pressure to clear the ball for the Magpies.
So, from defensive 50, and the Magpies through Darren White. They'll send it towards the wing. Plenty of bodies back there for the Blues, though. Spoiling from behind was Groenewegen. Forward, it's worked by Wright. Tumbling ball in the air. That's a good intercept taken down there. Strong stuff from White. Oh, dear, he's banged the ball into his own thigh and lost a hold of it. That was a little bit awkward. They managed to keep a hold of the football. Camerick with a very clean take there. And then he swings it over his shoulder up onto the wing. The mark dropped down there. The big ruckman there on that occasion as once again the Blues send it forward. Some good pressure being applied. The tackle laid by Pitcher, who has got himself on the scoreboard already this afternoon.
Gee, he came through quick then, didn't he, Big Pitcher?
He's had an impact on this first quarter. And I reckon our lack of sound effects here has just been shown a little. There is the quarter time siren. So quarter time at KG5. Glenorchy kicked the first. Since then, it was all one-way traffic. Launceston really just putting the foot down, showing why they're on top of the table. They kick the next 6. They lead by 5 goals at quarter time. Fair to say that the hosts need to reverse course pretty quickly, or this is going to get ugly, Tubes Taylor.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Drewy. It's just slippery conditions, a little bit blustery out here at KG5, but you can tell that there's been plenty of rain down here, judging by the amount of dirt and grime on the jumpers and legs of the players out there. But I'm sure Coach Paul Kennedy will have a few words to say to his charges at quarter time. We'll take a quick break here and be right back with the second term of this TSL Round 12 match between Glenorchy and Launceston. It's Glenorchy 1-1-7, trailing the Blues 6-1-37. We'll be right back.
stoppage.
You're on.
Well, second term about to get underway. We've got a 30-point margin in favour of the Blues. We'll get rid of our scoreboard for you shortly. Still plenty of time here according to the timekeepers. The Chargers are out there on the ground though. Never understood that, Drewy, why the umpires wait officially until they're told go for it. When everyone's ready, let's just get it started.
Yeah, not so sure. I mean, it's got nothing on cricket when it comes to stupid timekeeping.
No, that's right.
So, we'll let them have a few seconds as Paul Freeman works this one forward and Camerick seizes upon it for the Magpies, sends them out towards Adam Robertson. I think he's going to run out of room here in front of Grant Holt. But yeah, I mean, they're not waiting for us on the live stream. I mean,
no.
TV games just got to wait for the TV commercials to come back. And no such issues here with us, Jubes.
Don't they know who I am? Anyway, Cody Thorpe in the ruck up against Deegan. A couple of big units going at it. A couple of real fast haircuts too, if you don't mind. Boundary throwing. Deegan works Thorpe under the ball. Thorpe taps it on to Blackberry. Blackberry does a little bit of ruckman work and then just works it forward. Out the back here for Geared. Couldn't quite get it. Roberts now just goes one way and then back the other. Forced kick goes long. Big fist came from the defence. And there's a free kick going the way of Glenorchy, I think, here for a push. Yep. So Glenorchy will have the footy. Handball's off quickly, off to Camerick. When Camerick calls, you give it to him. Nice ball inside forward 50, bouncing, roving the pack. There's Roberts. Roberts didn't take a possession of the footy. Hot on his hammer, though, was that man in Holt. Diving on the footy. They do well to lock it in here, I reckon. Glenorchy a bit off the ball here between Dilger. And who's that at the bottom of the pack there? Drewy? I think it might be Harper.
Yeah, Joby Harper throwing his weight about upon his return. There's been a bit of spite in this game. The umpire says the best way to deal with it is just to throw it up and get on with it. So play continues here, and we're going to have another stoppage as the ruckus continues. And
Dilger.
Just Joseph thought he might have thrown one there.
Yeah.
It's all getting rather hot and bothered here at KG5.
Matty Joseph doing a bit of work. Off the ball, though. It's picked up by Seymour. Seymour's kick goes long. It's all Glenorchy here. Just leapt under the footy. Nice tackle laid there by Pulverman. And just doing a little hurdle work out there is Jake Smith.
Strong tackle that, wasn't it?
It was. He's a bush tucker man, Pulverman. So Thorpe, again, out it comes now for Deegan. The handball came over the top. Pulverman off the ground, running ball. Now a chance out the back. Here's a chance for Patterson. Goes one way, then the other. That ball went about 4 metres. McKnight back to a man, and they just deliver up forward. Here's a chance for Geared. Geared short one finds Camerick. Camerick at centre wing. Doing a bit of traffic direction. The cop throws it on the boot. Nice long kick and going back with a flight. That's courageous stuff there by Tuttle.
Yeah, great mark from Tuttle. He's played on here. He'll send them outside in the direction of Grant Holt. Holt with his left foot just chips one short and finds Smith, although he's told to go back and take it again. So that should allow Glenorchy to get back and get their defensive zone set up here. Good result for them. And might force Holt just to go long down the line. That's just what he does. He gets a bit of purchase on it, sends it long in the direction of Pitcher. The free kick is going to go the way of Pitcher. And he'll look inside. He'll square them centrally to Seymour. Good kick. He had plenty of time and space. And Seymour now with the open side found Joby Harper. Good man to pick out. Harper uses it wisely normally. Pretty ugly kick, but they've got a 2-on-1 in the pocket if they can work it. Jay Blackberry's kicked one from the impossible angle. He couldn't find a second one, as that one's a rush through for a behind. Well, the way he was shooting in that first quarter, why not? Jay Blackberry, the milestone man. Breaking Jay Bowden's TSL games record as a crunching contest there at half forward. Both players thankfully get straight back up. trying to kick it forward now is geared, although not both players, just the one player, so we might get back to that anyway. Here's Callan Daly, worked the handball inside. It was a good one to Manson. Manson now with a probing kick inside 50. It'll be a foot race, but leading back is Jamison House. House had some support, the handball over the top to Miller Hodge. Hodge's clearing kick was over the head of Tuthill. Chance for the Magpies now. They'll drive this one deep. It won't sit for Meredith, though. Able to take it away is right. Good forward pressure being applied. They're under the pump here, the Blues. Again, picking it up is right. Got the handball out to Tuthill riding shotgun. And he's clearing kick in relief. Found Holt.
Holt goes inboard, finds a man in Palfreman. Palfreman swings around quickly. His kick finds his almost twin in Jake Smith. Smith goes across the cricket pitch, which is dangerous. Jeepers creepers. Harper with strength goes through the contest. What a big body he's got. Goes long and finds a man deep. In Brody, beg your pardon, it's actually Pitcher. So Pitcher's going to have a shot from 50 out. And how about that from Joby Harper through the middle of the cricket pitch there on ice skates?
Yeah, that could have been ugly, but great hands. Great composure and courage.
In comes Pitcher for his second. He'll kick from about 48 metres. Just gives himself a little bit extra. Pops it up on the boot. Nicely laid on the boot too. It goes through for his second. And the Blues get the start they wanted. After 7 minutes gone. 5.5 minutes gone. And they extend their lead out to 37 points.
Yeah, it was great stuff, that goal, really, largely down to Joby Harper. Eyes for the football.
Yep. And on the opposite wing, we saw a contest where Deegan was running towards the footy and going back with a flight. Manson, courageous, sure. But I just think a little bit more talk there between the Glenorchy players. I'm not sure whether Manson's come off or not. Can't see the bench from where we're sitting. But it's just a little bit tough when you're not talking to your teammates, let alone talking against your opponents.
So back to the centre it goes as Deegan trying to control the ball with his foot from ground level. Scooped through the legs there from Hines. That was interesting. Ball goes forward now. Spoiling from behind was Joseph. Picked up and snapping is Donnellan. Won't have the distance. Oh, great body work in the square from Dylan Riley. Sees it through. Jack Donnellan grabs another. And it's 43 points. Launceston, well, they've already had a couple of triple-digit victories in season 2021, and they are well on the way again here this afternoon. They are absolutely smashing the Magpies at the moment, who, after kicking the first goal, have been outscored 50-1.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to say, Drewy, but this is a powerhouse Launceston side looking to go back-to-back in the TSL, and there's not much you can do against a side that's filled with such quality players and well coached. Back in the middle, Thorpe got a second crack at it, tapped it straight to Disco Camerick. His kick goes out wide. Had a little bit more time than he thought. Daly got his handball away just. Now it comes out for Nicholson, back to Daly and diving in Deegan. So he'll go back from on the side of forward 50, gives it off to a running Camerick. Camerick's kick goes long towards Gunther, who went back with the flight and a strong contested mark for the star from Glenorchy. More of that, please. Brilliant stuff.
Camerick's been getting busy. He's just been unable to find targets, but this time able to find one, a good strong mark.
I was going to say, he's had plenty of it. There's been a couple of times where his kicks have been rushed, where he's had a little bit more time. So again, a little bit more talk when Camerick's got the footy, just to slow things down a little bit. And that was good delivery. So Gunther, kick from about 45. That breeze coming straight into his face, though. And he comes, the number 11 for the Magpies. Just approaches the mark, gets nice and close. He's a beautiful kick of the footy, but this one's just faded to the near side. And Gunther kicks it behind.
They can ill afford to be passing up opportunities here today, Glenorchy. Already 7 goals in arrears as Launceston will take it outside defensive 50. The umpire has spotted an infringement here, though.
Just a man encroaching on the mark, I think.
Yeah.
Drewy?
So go back and take that again, he says, as Jack Donnellan launches back to him. Already 2 goals this afternoon for Donnellan.
Handy little talk there from Donnellan.
Just practicing the barrel, don't mind it. Like to see a little bit more of it. So, take 2 42 points, the current margin here. The visitors doing what they've done for much of the season. Groningen competing with Wyatt. This one will just elude Camerick as we see Joseph and Donnellan going at it.
It's a vastly different KG5 to what it was last Friday night, isn't it? At least we can see the opposite side of the ground, Drewy.
Yeah, you can see the players and the ball, so that's a definite improvement on that Friday night. Shocking conditions as this one's one down, and the Blues will try and go forward here through Seymour. He was seized from behind though, and once again a stoppage.
Great tackle from John Geard.
Strong defensive effort from the Magpie, wasn't it? As Thorpe competing with Deegan. Deegan grabbed it and then he was grabbed. Going absolutely nowhere here as Hines lays the tackle. Joseph also in for the Magpies. Pretty scrappy stuff here at the moment as the Magpies look to dig in and hold firm. They've leaked a few too many today. They'd love to be able to pull one back here. Here's Hines, who was prolific in the first quarter as ever. An up and under for the big men to fly, but it was Blackberry who came in from the side and said, I'll have it. He turns and he'll go inside. The switching play here. Slightly risky ball, but it was nicely executed and found young McKercher. His handball left a bit to be desired, though. Set Alec Wright a task. All now in dispute. McKercher was being held. Tried to kick it off the deck. Play continuing as Miller Hodge goes in, and he's wrapped up by two. We'll have a ball up.
That was great from McKercher there just to follow up. He knew he missed the mark with his handball, but went back in and got it. So great stuff from the young Blue. So just forward to send it for the Blues. Off the ground from Blackberry. Goes forward. Finds a man in McKercher. Donlan rather. His kick finds Greenwagon. Play on was the call. It was a good little bit of pressure there, but out it flops for Taylor. Taylor into the pocket. Riley takes the mark. Plays on quickly. And he'll have his second. Yum, 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 says Dylan Riley as he edges closer to 50 goals for the season. That's his second of the game.
Takes him to 48.
48.
I think you would be pretty surprised if he doesn't bring it up here this afternoon the way this is going.
He might get 100.
He might have before half-time the 50. 100, well, that would be something. Maybe by the end of the season, who knows? If he keeps keeping bags of 8, 9 and 10 as he has been this season.
Yeah, he's been amazing, hasn't he?
He really has, and look, he's getting plenty of opportunity to feast here this afternoon. The ball is coming in pretty readily to him.
Yeah, and there's no pressure on those ball carriers, so it makes it really hard on the Glenorchy defence. I heard you say that they're under siege before. Well, Stephen Seagal's certainly out there. Or is he? He was the one that ruined Under Siege, wasn't he? I don't know. I don't know the movie well enough. Back in the middle, Deegan. Over the back, Smith got his handball out, looking for his twin brother, who's not his brother. Out it comes now for Disco Camerick, who tries to shrug through a couple, and that might be holding the ball. Umpire's giving him a little bit of a license there to go through 3 or 4 tacklers, and we'll see a ball up.
I reckon he had 3 chances to get rid of that. Anyway, back in the middle, one down decisively by Deegan to Camerick, tumbles it to half forward. Trying to fashion a kick away there, it was Woolley. And an over-the-shoulder decision will see the Magpies rewarded with a free kick. And sending them inside 50 will be Roberts. This is going to have to come back, though. The umpire hadn't set the mark. So it should allow the defence to get set behind the football. But Roberts, can he spot someone up here? He wheels onto the right and he'll send it deep. Can he find a marking target? He can. That's a really good, strong gather down there. I think it's Big Gunther again, who just somehow juggles that one home. It is. So providing a good target down there, Harrison Gunther. Can his kicking get the job done this time?
Well, he's been the only real shining light apart from him and Camerick for Glenorchy. The only ones that can really get their hands on the ball.
Yeah,
Roberts, maybe, he's been okay.
They've been struggling for targets around the ground, but this guy has been as good as they've had in the air. He's taken a couple of strong marks. Badly needing this one. Harrison Gunther, for their second of the afternoon, he strides on in and drives it through. And they needed that one to stop a run of 9 straight from Launceston. It's 2-2-14, the Magpies, trailing by an even 7 goals.
So his first goal of the day for Gunther. He's kicked 1-1. That was probably a tougher kick than the first one, Drewy, but a good kick nonetheless. 42 points the margin in favour of the Blues. KG5, it looks like they've moved the ice skating rink from just down the road up into the middle of KG5 there. Nice shade of black on the cricket pitch. Very, very slippery. So 14 and a half minutes gone in the second term. Nice ruck contest one down by Meredith. He's come up from the emergencies to play. Rybelt now at centre wing. Looks to his centre half forward, but it's going to be chopped off here too easy. And it's snopped up there by Tuttle. He goes out towards Harper. Harper's short one on to Hines. Hines looks up. He's got Dylan Riley coming at him fast, but Thorpe is even quicker. And that's a strong mark by the big man.
Can't defend that.
No, you can't. And there's so much room down in the forward 50 too. I'll tell you what, you see big Cody Thorpe coming at you too. You're pretty sure you get out of the way, don't you?
Yeah, not one I'd be keen to back into the hole in front of.
No, look at him. He's got a little bit of sticker work there. He's a nice kick of the footy. Let's see where he goes. Normally known for his ruck contest work, but he's also a handy little forward too. On the right boot, it looks okay off the boot. Nice. Straight through the middle for Cody Thorpe. And a quick response from the Blues.
Yeah, some big names involved in that passage of play. Joby Harper with good hands, composed over the top to Hines. Hines looks up, sees open field in front of Thorpe and just chips one, puts it up there nice and high. No chance the fullback can get anywhere near that. He just extends the arms, easy as you like. You're just not going to be able to stop them if that's the kind of delivery you're getting inside 50.
Well, Glenorchy, what do you do if you're them?
Look, I think you've just got to keep giving young players opportunities. I think really take the game on. At the end of the day, you probably, as cynical as it sounds, you might be expecting a bit of a belting heading into this one. Not the coaching staff would ever say that as Hines sends them forward, but I think you've just got to back the youngsters in there. It's the only way you're going to get better. Learn from the likes of Hines, from the likes of Blackberry, Harper. You're playing some awesome opponents. You might learn a few things and see what it takes to be one of the best sides in the TSL.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And we saw a couple of good things there. Young Cooper Meredith took a good contested grab in the half-back line. And then I assume his brother or cousin, Josh, out here on the wing just to put a bit of pace on and force the 50-50 here as the ball went out of bounds. And it's good to see him in the ruck. Comes in from the emergency and they say to him, guess what? You're going to go up against Hamish Leadham, Cody Thorpe, and Joe Greenwagon in the ruck, young man. Good luck. As Blackberry comes out with the footy, sends it long towards Riley. Nice fist there by White. Out the back, a quick kick by Fletcher Seymour. His goes inside forward 50. Nice defensive work down there by Patterson. White gets it back. Just missed the mark though to Geared with the handball. Now a chance there for Seymour. Got it off to Blackberry with a clearing handball. Now the ball goes up towards Dylan Riley. Cody Thorpe, strong. Well, what do you do when you've got one of the towers of terror down the front and you've got a couple of smaller defenders? You just pop it up and hope that the big man's going to take a mark or Dylan Riley's going to take a big screamer.
He had a good 10 centimetres on anyone else in that pack.
He certainly did.
He just extended the arms into the heavens and no one was stopping him.
They couldn't reach his elbows, could they? So when he comes for his second in a minute, Cody Thorpe, this one's easier if you like. Bang, beautiful kick. How about that kicking style? Beautiful stuff from the big man.
Yeah, it can be an area where people get themselves into trouble changing their kicking action closer to goal. No danger of that with Thorpe. He kicks right through the football there.
He's kicked that one to Old Beach.
Yeah, that's out of the precinct. That's someone in the neighbourhood just got themselves a new Sharon, I think.
That's true.
But,
so the margin even further now. 68 points in a quarter and only 18 minutes gone in the second term.
Yeah, they're scoring pretty freely at the moment. It's pretty enormous task facing these Magpies, but they need to find a way to dig in here, or it could be yet another triple-point belting, which this Launceston side are becoming rather accustomed to handing out as trying to force their way through. But once again, it's Blackberry in there with Paul Freeman just tackling ferociously. No room to move there for Riley Oakley, so they'll go again. Once again, it's Deegan up against Leadham, and Camerick will take it away. He swings them forward. How will the ball bounce? Favourably for the Blues. They made that work nicely, right? With the clear and kick, and he finds Colby McKercher. McKercher wheels and goes quickly and chips it down the line for Blackberry. Blackberry has a man on. That's where he heads. They're just working it down the wing with nice chip kicks here to Miller Hodge now. And He'll go inside 50 and send them along in the Thorpe direction, but just parked in front. Oh, unable to complete the mark there. It was an opportunity, but there'll be a ball up. I thought another goal was almost certain for the Blues, not to be. Ball up inside 50.
Well, Brendan Taylor just couldn't get the second grab on it there, could he? So a ruck contest inside forward 50. White and Thorpe. Thorpe, the double touch out to Blackberry. Blackberry off a step, gets a little rubber inside forward 50. Now it's picked up here by Glenorchy. Short one and a fist coming across the front of the face by Donnellan. Does well to punch us out of bounds. So a ball in a pretty similar spot to the ball up. Umpire's doing a pretty good job here today, as per usual. What we've grown to expect from the TUFA. A great organisation. Tapped down by Thorpe. Camrick tries to shrug the tackle. Couldn't quite, but managed to get his handball away. Dilger went in hard. Out the back with the handball came for Donnellan. Quick kick away there by your man Manson. And the mark's taken here by Holt. Holt looks up. He's got a bit of space here inside forward 50. He just overcooked the kick. And it's taken by, I think that's Joseph at half-back.
So half-back for the Magpies into red time in quarter number 2. Again, it's a small little chip kick out of defence. That one worked all right to Camrick, though. Unfortunately, they've turned it straight over going forward. Parked back there, the experienced Jamison House. And he takes the mark. He's kicked just a little too high for Alec Wright, who goes back and gets it. Now it's Jake Smith working the ball forwards. He found Fletcher Seymour. The Norky players, I don't think were expecting that to be paid 15, so tried to wrap him up. He sends it wide now for Blackberry. Blackberry works it even wider, and he finds Pitcher. He goes inside 50. It's just great ball movement, changing the angles up, and they find Dylan Riley in the pocket.
No, too much space there. You can't give Jay Blackberry 25 metres. You can't give him 3 metres.
And they're moving the ball around really well. They're hitting their targets by foot. They're using the space that's being afforded to them to absolute perfection. Meanwhile, Dylan Riley for goal number 49 from the tightest of angles. He has absolutely slotted it. That is superb stuff from Dylan Riley. He is a man on fire. Goal number 3 for him this afternoon. He's one away from raising the bat. And the onslaught continues. It's now a 60-point buffer.
Wow. What a kick. That ball started here, right in the centre of the ground, deep in some thick black mud. And the ball movement from Launceston was exquisite. Jay Blackberry's out there on the wing by himself. Laces out to Dylan Riley. Beautiful stuff from the Blues. And as you say, he's on 49 goals, the full forward for for Launceston. Brilliant stuff. Ruck contest here. Thorpe taps it down the throat of Palfreyman or Smith, whichever one you want to call it. They both had a touch each. Out it comes now for Taylor. Taylor goes back inboard, down towards Riley. No, it's a bigger mark there by Leadham. And when you've got 3 excellent ruckmen who can take contested grabs, why not park them down forward and just send the ball long? So Hamish Leadham's going to go back and have a shot from about 25, 30 metres out.
I know he's been their only threat up forward, but I think it's approaching Harry Gunther to the backline time. They are so undersized down there. They are just getting slaughtered in the air right now.
Yep, no, good call. So Leadham with a moustache, in he comes. Nice kick off the boot. Maybe a little bit 9-ish, but it's okay. Through the middle. And he's happy with it too, the big man. Just celebrating. And that's the 6th goal of the term. They've kicked 6 in each. And they are 12-2-80 to Glenorchy. 13-2-80, sorry, my bad.
They've now kicked 7. That's
7. Apologies.
You're running out of room to put those ones on your sheet tubes. They are slotting them.
Just everywhere, aren't they?
And for Glenorchy, I think they're being absolutely belted around the ground. But when you've got the likes of Blackberry from the Poundry, Riley, they're not missing anything. There is no reprieve to be found here.
That's the one I missed. That was the Riley one from the pocket. That was exquisite. He's kicked 2 for the term and 3 for the game.
So back into the middle we go. Thorpe competing with Deegan. And the ruckman decisively getting contact. And I think we're going to have a repeat stoppage here as they all climb on.
Looks like Gunther's moved into the middle.
So at least got him around the ball a little bit. But yeah, I mean, he's been a target for him up forward. But they've got to find a way to stem the bleeding at the moment as Thorpe just picked it up, handballed it off now. Right found Hines. This is some lovely stuff again from the Blues. Hines' kick couldn't quite find a target on the deck. Just poked away down there by Leadham. I'm not sure that'll be sufficient intent. Decision for the umpire here. They're imploring him. And he shows mercy.
Well, pressure around the footy there. Good call from Chris Kay. We love him here at the calling box. So a boundary throw in here on the forward 50. You reckon that was out on deliberate?
He had one thing on his mind there, Chief.
He's just trying to get it out of the air and try and run away. Leadham wins it down. Camrick gets wrapped up in a tackle. Fletcher Seymour's got him. And jumping in for good measures, Jake Smith. There's a bit of beard action going on in the Lonnie team, isn't it? I like it. Gunther's in the ruck. Nicely done. Camrick just gets his kick away just. Coming through with pace. That was good stuff. Attack on the footy from Oakley. Oakley's kick, though, is chopped off by Holt. Holt plays on quickly. Moves the ball into a man there in Tuttle. Tuttle's kick goes long. Watch for Dylan Riley to fly. Dylan Riley just a little push in the back there, I think. So it'll be a free kick going to Glenorchy.
So, from the back pocket, deep into quarter number 2. They repel once more. That's going to come right back at them because parked back there was big Cody Thorpe. Wheels inside quickly. Found a man in Seymour. Seymour then spots up the lead. It's all too easy. It's Jake Hines. They're just spotting up their kicks and they seem to have a free man everywhere they look. Jake Hines with a chance to extend the lead. And despite the rather wet conditions, they have been remarkably clean by hand and by foot. Hands have been really clean taking marks and ball use has been fantastic as Jake Hines wheels around and sends it towards goal.
Not
and
today.
A rare blemish for Hines on this occasion. It goes out to 67 points the advantage. And they'll take it quickly through White. Handball over the top into the back pocket for
great
Gears,
chase.
who was brought down. Some great work there from Braden Pitcher.
He turned around and he looked at Chris Kay and it was almost gladiator-like. It was more, are you not entertained?
Now give me a free kick.
Give me a free kick. So a boundary thrown inside the forward 50 for the Blues. Leadham wins it down. Palfreyman was there, and this one might be a little high on Taylor, so he's going to get a shot on goal.
Yep, it's the value of a forward stoppage. A fairly innocuous kind of free kick, but it was there.
I think Kai Chilcott was a little shocked. But you can't grab a man around the neck, I suppose, and Taylor's going to go back and have a shot for his first. They're just building and building Dylan Riley's 50-goal mark.
Got to keep something for the second half.
Well, that's what I was going to say. What are we going to talk about after that? In comes Taylor. And it's another beautiful kick. Well, whoever their kicking coach is up at Launceston better get along to the Blues, I reckon, in the AFL. Because they've kicked 14-3 for the day.
They are absolutely shooting the lights out right now. They have been fantastic. They won a fairly regulation chance, but I reckon the 14-3, you gave an average team the exact same set shots they've had today, you'd be getting 9 or 10 goals, not 14.
Yeah, I think you're right, Drewy. So 87 plays 14, 27 and 3/4 minutes gone in the second term. I was about to say third term, but the game hasn't gone that long. Good to see Gunther in the middle.
Yeah, they had to get him involved.
Yeah, agreed. He's one of their best. Ruck contest. Thorpe against Deegan. Wins it down. Kicked off the ground by Palfreyman. Now a little scoopy handball out to Hines. Hines' kick is a good one, but it bounces in front of his teammate in Seymour. Seymour spins around. No right foot and coming out to meet it, Pitcher. So Pitcher's got Thorpe inboard if he wants. He decides against that. Seymour saying go and have a shot. And then Pitcher says, okay. That's smart work from Fletcher Seymour. Just a wise head on his shoulders. So in comes Braden Pitcher. Kick from right on the paint. Gee, it's a nice kick. It's not going to make the journey. Flying over the back, I think that might have been Taylor. And a quick kick by Hines is a behind.
The siren, fairly imminent, you'd suspect here, is dashing out is White. Handball over the top, and they'll make their way a defensive 50 by hand to Rybelt. Rybelt long down the wing, and a good mark taken by Riley Oakley. Can Oakley find a target here? It's as clean as they've exited the defensive 50 all quarter here, and they move it along nicely. Some nice play here. Rybelt continued his run, and now he sends them deep inside 50. But unfortunately, back there was the ever-present Jamison House.
He's marked everything, hasn't he?
He's just chopped off anything that's come his way, and that will be the end of the first half here at KG5. The ladder leaders once again sending out a statement. They lead this one 14-4, 88 to 2-2-14. The Magpies kicked the first goal. Since then, it has been an absolute onslaught. It has not let up.
No.
And Launceston showing the clear gap between these two sides here this afternoon.
Just, again, the wide open expanses of KG5 usually haunt a lot of teams, but not this Launceston outfit. They've had so much space that they don't really know what to do with it. They're kicking goals from all across every angle. The goal kickers for Lonnie, 3 to Dylan Riley, 2 to Cody Thorpe, 2 to Braden Pitcher, 2 to Jack Donnellan, singles to Hamish Leadham, Brendan Taylor and Jake Hines. For Glenorchy, it's 1 to Harrison Gunther and 1 to Adam Roberts. But what a real clinic there from Launceston in the early stages of this game. I hate saying it, but it's only halfway there.
Yeah, this is going to get really, really ugly. They are just looking pretty ruthless out there. I don't want to get any bad habits creeping into their game. There's the only real danger for a team like Launceston coming into a game like this is complacency. And it's fair to say there was none of that being displayed. They are just looking to roll past the Magpies here. It's been machine-like, the ruthless efficiency they've shown. And I fear for the Magpies this could be a very long second half indeed.
All right, we'll take a quick break here. It's half-time at the TSL Round 12 match between Glenorchy and Launceston from KG5. It is a 74-point margin in favour of Launceston. Had to think about that. Tubes Taylor and Andrew Cooling coming back with you live for the second half in just a few moments. Stick around, we'll be right back. Well, welcome back. A third term about to get underway here at KG5. It's TSL round 12 action from Glenorchy versus Launceston. My name's Tubes Taylor. I'm joined in the commentary box by my colleague and good friend Andrew Cooling. Drewy, an absolute flyer from Launceston to get out to a big 74-point lead over Glenorchy. What do you think the message is from both coaches at half-time?
Well, I'd imagine Launceston will be just keep powering on, keep doing what we're doing. I don't want to see us letting up. I don't want to see bad habits creeping into our game. We keep working, keep doing what we've done for the first half. I'm sure privately they might just be hoping to get through this second half without any injuries, with the result well and truly wrapped up. But Glenorchy, well, it's an interesting one. I mean, what approach do you go with if you're the coach there? Do you pull out the hairdryer treatment and absolutely light them up? I'm not sure that really helps on the day when you're taking on a juggernaut like Launceston. I don't know that it's a lack of effort that's been their problem. It's been more execution.
Yeah, I don't think Paul Kennedy's a hairdryer type anyway. I think he's more an educator and a pretty solid footy coach, PK, as Mitch Thorpe is as well, of course. You can't go past a bloke who's just won the last premiership and is looking to go back-to-back. But I think for Glenorchy, I'd like to see a little bit more support around the ground as far as voice goes, because when they have had the footy, they've had a little bit of space and they've, as you said, just butchered a little bit and not used the ball as well as they would have liked. So perhaps just slowing it down a touch, not worrying too much about the scoreboard, because I think the result is well and truly done, but just to get some respectability back to the possession numbers and attack on the footy.
I think the other thing is they've been so clean, the entries inside 50 for Launceston. They're not helping their defenders out at all. They've got no hope when the ball's coming in clean and high to where they've got a height advantage. The midfield further up the ground just need to pressure the kicks coming inside 50 a bit more, I think. Just trying to put them off a little bit. No,
absolutely. So match about to get restarted for the third term here from KG5. The umpire will hold the ball aloft. We'll hear the siren. We'll be underway. There we go. Cody Thorpe doing battle against James Deegan for the Magpies. And we're away. Deegan wins it down to Camrick. Camrick was just sitting in his pocket, got the handball back to Geard. Gears goes back and just throws it on the boot. High flyer down towards the young man in Meredith. Running through, that might have been Roberts that got the kick off the footy. Now through with pace is your man. You're one of your favourite players, Jamison House. Out the back, the kick came from Wright. Wright's kick goes in favour, and wow, what a piece of work there from the Lonnie player. I missed who it was as it goes now forward for Greenwagon. He throws it on the boot, on the right. Leadham just got worked under the ball. Nice defensive work there by that man in, I'm not sure who it was, it might have been Patterson. It came forward. The handball came out now for Rebelt. Rebelt's handball went straight into his opposition player, and we'll see a boundary throw in.
So throw in with the bright sunshine here. Conditions improving. A little bit of wind about, but not too bad. Given the week we've had, certainly could have been far worse conditions for football. Maybe given the aerial dominance we've seen, the Magpies might have liked a little bit of rain here this afternoon. As it'll be Thorpe to compete with Deegan once again. Tackle laid there by Thompson. Eventually the handball worked forward by Blackberry. Sweeps it over the top to Camerick. Kept it in. They've done pretty well there. Eventually we'll have another throw in. But, pressure on the ball carrier early on in this third quarter. We'll need the Magpies to really lift here after a first half in which they were well and truly second best against this star-studded Launceston outfit. Thorpe took it out of the contest, burrowing in there, working it forwards. Another throw-in, so just in a bit of a holding pattern to start this third.
Great attack on the footy there from Miller Hodge. I think it was him that came off the half-back line too to take the ball through with pace. He just come through with reckless abandonment for his own safety, and just that typifies Launceston, I reckon. They're ruthless. Now it comes out. Here's a chance. There's been a free kick pulled out, and it's good to have the noise back as we can hear the umpires with our cans on. So Smith's going to take the free kick. He kicks it down towards Riley and Co in the pocket, flying across the front of the pack. Couldn't quite take the mark. Riley swoops on the footy, but too late. It's out of bounds. A few people up there in the grandstand, Drewy.
Yeah, coming cheer on the local side and hope to see a bit more from them in this second half. Not too bad a day, as we said, for football. The ball back into play once more, just taken out of the ruck contest. Roberts tracks it down. Hodge now for Launceston, tried to fashion a kick. Roberts swung it back over his shoulder and put it out of bounds on the full. So Jay Blackberry was touched, in fact, so it'll be a throw in at half forward. Real rinse and repeat for the first 3 minutes. The ball's just kind of been locked in this little quadrant of the ground around the forward 50 and just throw in and ball up. It's very much the order of the day is once again, neither team get decisive clearance. The Launceston do this time. Hines sweeps the handball to Harper. Harper over the top to Pitcher. Pitcher strides on in and misses. So off target there. The way they were slotting everything in the first half, I just about put that in the goal column already. Still might get a goal here as that one found a way through to Blackberry somehow. Scooping the handball out was Gunther. Climbing on top of it, geared. Now Blackberry. He's wrapped up by a few and we'll have a ball up.
Where's Joby Harper been? What, he's had an injury?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, some suggestions. We weren't sure if he was going to play this year or not, I think, but he's fine.
It's great to see him back. He certainly had a fair bit of it. What a great return for him. Leadham won it down out towards Seymour. Seymour kicks it from about the third row of the grandstand. The umpire will ball it in. This umpire is certainly earning his dollars with about 7 throw-ins in the last 30 seconds. Or 4 minutes, really. Let's not be over-exuberant, Tubes. So we see the ball coming in. Gunther in the ruck. They might have swung him down back. Harper got his handball out. Quick kick forward was good from Tuthill. Wrestling to the front of the pack. Greenwagon did okay. Quick one forward there by your man Hines and out for Dylan Riley, who slipped over the grass out there, and we'll see another boundary throw-in.
It's in a holding pattern, this one.
Really is. Just hold the jib up and keep moving it forward. Ball in again. Gunther in the ruck. Leadham won it down. Hines trying hard. Matt Manson's in there too. See a ball up again. This time it's a throw up. Leadham wins it. Out the back. Quick kick off the ground was smart by Fletcher Seymour, and he's got his first. Launceston have their first of the afternoon for the third term at least. Now the margin's out to 81.
I was just going to say, Glenorchy will probably be happy to just keep this as an ugly scrap in the second half, just try and keep the scoring down, but eventually the pressure tells and they get goal number one. I suppose at least it's taken a few more minutes than the rate at which they were leaking them early. They'd be happy if this is just a real stoppage, ugly scrap in the second half, because when it was free-flowing and open, it was certainly not playing to their advantage in the first half. But Launceston get yet another. And 81 points now the margin. Really the only question now is just how decisive is this final margin going to be?
Well, 20 scoring shots to 4 pretty much tells you how this game's going.
Needham won that one down. Camerick's tried hard in the middle this afternoon, won a bit of the ball, but hasn't been able to do enough with it. He gets another chance here and he just dances through the pack cleverly, tumbles it towards half forward. Took a tough bounce down there for Joseph. Eventually, this ball socket off the ground outside, but it'll come right back at them here through Joseph. Shrugged his way past a couple. That was tidy. Then sends them deep inside 50. The defensive fist come. Fell to Holt. Holt worked it to right with a tumbling kick outside. Couldn't find Blackberry, but he found Pitcher, who's been impressive today. Showed strength to hold up in the tackle there. And then Blackberry lays a good tackle there. And will hold it up for the ball up.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from the veteran there, Blackberry. Holding on to a young man in Nathan Blowfield who was coming through with pace. Ball up here at half forward for Glenorchy. Leadham wins it down. Didn't go too far. Riley Oakley there. We'll see a ball up again. This is what's happening. They're getting their hands on the footy, but they're being wrapped up by 2 and 3 Launceston players, Glenorchy. Deegan wins this one, trying to find Joseph. Coming through hard there was Wright. He's wrapped up in a tackle. And the umpire will take it again. So scrappy stuff in the third term. Leadham. Riley Oakley got tackled by 2. We'll see another ball up. So we saw a run of about 4 minutes of boundary throw-ins. We're going to see another run of about 4 minutes of ball ups. There's a lot of people around this footy here at KG5. That one was won nicely down by Deegan. The handball came out the back, and here's a chance now as the ball's moved forward by McKercher. Fletcher Seymour has it. Camrick's not happy with the distance that one travelled through. Blackberry just waited for it. Now a chance on his left, his favoured left. He goes out wider and finds a teammate in the middle of the KG5 footy oval. Through, slipping there was Casey Brown, but it's okay. It's going to work out for Holt. Holt goes deep into the pocket, flying over the back. No chance here for the Launceston forwards. The throw there from Patterson came out towards a teammate. Couldn't quite gather it. Geared with a handball over the top to Joseph. Joseph's handball was just smothered a little bit. Pushed in the back there was Oakley. No doing, said the umpire, and we'll see another ball up here. Great tackle laid by Chilcott. And a ball up right on the paint of 50.
Yeah, defensive work rate been pretty good from both sides here in the third quarter. The tackling from both outfits been pretty intense as the referee just jogging to keep warm in the background as this one sent deep inside 50. Well defended there by Patterson from behind. Charging through was Manson, but a chance for the Blues to work it towards the teeth of goal. Down there was the dangerous Thorpe. Away from him is Camerick deep in defence. Kept it inside and then sent a kick over the head, though, of Dilger. McKercher will try and gather. He's got some dash, Colby McKercher. He shows that and then chips one forward looking for the dangerous Riley. Couldn't quite bring it down. And it'll be locked in for a ball up inside 50. Thought McKercher might have taken the shot on himself there, actually.
Well, I reckon they're pretty wise to how many goals Dylan Riley's got. They'll be keen to get it in his hands and see the bloke kick 50 goals about halfway through the season. Ruck contest one down by Greenwagon. Dom Brown gets wrapped up by 2, and we'll see a ball up again. Dylan Riley at the bottom of the pack. Gets a little hand up from James Deegan, the opposition colours. Not sure that's allowed in footy, is it, Drewy? Greenwagon and Deegan wins that one again. He's lifted in this third term. Dylan Riley over the footy and another ball up. So scrappy stuff here. But as you say, defensive systems of both teams locking the ball in. Not seeing any clear run. I'm sure Coach Paul Kennedy will be happy with that.
Yeah, they've done a much better job here in the opening 10 minutes of this quarter. Just stopping the free runners of Launceston, but roving this one's Blackberry. He snaps it high in the air. Don't know if that will have travelled 15. Certainly did up in the air. Gathering it now, Miller Hodge. He's wrapped up by Oakley. And yet another stoppage. We had more ball ups in the first 10 minutes of the third quarter than we had the entire first half just about. It's a real pattern here. Can anyone find decisive clearance on this occasion? Gronewagen in the ruck against Deegan. A couple try and play it off the deck, but once again, it's going absolutely nowhere. John Geared lying on the base of this pack. 11 minutes have ticked by.
Rinse and repeat, Drewy.
Quarter number 3, and we just keep going. Another stoppage. Number 200 for the quarter. Thumped out of there decisively by Deegan, and finally some clear room perhaps. Can Chilcott pick it up? They'll go by a hand and then chip it inside deep. The umpire spotted a free kick. Which way is it going? It's going the way of Launceston. And it's going to go to Big Thorpe, I think. So it won't quite be the 50, or will it? Dylan Riley's imploring the umpire it was for him. But it is for Thorpe. Which shows
Just
you.
stand there and get the handball. But
We saw Mitch Thorpe imploring that earlier this season in a game.
he did. He's a beautiful kick, Cody Thorpe.
Wouldn't have thought he'd miss this one. And he doesn't. He goes back and does the business and extends the lead further. So whilst Glenorchy have done a pretty good job slowing down the rate of scoring, the team that's adding the goals hasn't changed. The only 2 of the quarter going the way of Launceston. They lead now 87 points.
Must have been something off the ball down here. John Geared getting involved. He's got 3 Blues around him, and they're all pretty big units. And the Bush Tucker man, Jake Smith, there too. There's certainly some noise from the crowd beneath us here, Drewy.
Bit vocal. Trying to find something to spark up about. Maybe that'll be one way to fire them up.
So back in the middle. Deegan up against Leadham. And by Chris Kay, does well, throws it up. And both ruckmen just ran into each other and left the footy alone. McKercher off the ground, kicked it out towards Miller Hodge. Hodge goes back wider, and then just a little bit of fancy footwork was nice from Casey Brown. His kick's a scrubber. It turns up in the arms of the opposition colour McKnight, but it goes forward for the Blues. Through with pace. Here's a chance now for Pitcher. He can't quite gather the footy. Scrappy stuff here at KG5. Brown gets wrapped up in the Pitcher tackle. Now out the back. Brown the corner from Harper. And that one just to the far side, or near side rather, goes through for a behind. So he's kicked 2 behinds in his return, Joby Harper. But he's still going okay, getting plenty of the footy. White to bring it out.
Yeah, we've seen him bobbing up at half-back occasionally too. He's covered the turf, as that was a really well-judged mark there from Casey Brown. Over his head, running back with it. That is a very tough mark to pull off. Done so superbly, and he can send them inside 50 once again. Dylan Riley a likely target. They drive it deep. And which way is it going to be paid? It'll go the way of Gunther, who's done well down there. Was swung into defence, as suggested they're going to have to really. They were just so outsized down there in that first half. It does rob them of one of the few threats they did have in their own end, but it's not really getting down there enough anyway. So they'll try and build something here through Oakley. Hands off to Camerick. Camerick further afield, but once again it is all Launceston back there as Josh Woolley takes the intercept on this occasion. Just erecting the blue wall at midfield here at KG5. A poor kick from Woolley though, turns it straight over to Joseph. And a chance perhaps to get them back the other way. Joseph found Daly, wasn't the greatest kick, but found his man. Daly now can send them inside 50. It's numbers with the Blues. They did well to take it to ground though, the Magpies. Handball across from Woolley, and then he found Leadham and just held up again. Good defensive pressure, and a throw has been called by the umpire.
I don't think you can handball backwards, as in underneath your legs. So I think, I don't know too much about the rules, but...
Oh, you can't, but I have seen it pulled off twice already today.
Right, okay, Drewy, okay.
I mean, probably should have been blown those 2 times. He spotted this one. And Roberts with a chance, a badly needed chance for the Magpies.
Yep, they've been outscored in every term. But they seem to be locking it in a bit better this term. So Roberts, in he comes. The young Magpie pops it on the boot, just fading a little bit. It looks okay, it's through the middle. So Adam Roberts has got 2, 1 in the first and now 1 in the third.
Well, he's taking his chances, isn't he? It's not exactly getting in there too often. He kicked 2 of their 3, and they've kicked one of the 3 goals, just 2 goals to 1 in this third quarter, halfway through it. It's a better result for them, isn't it?
Yep. I think so. Just shows that they can lock it in a little bit, even if it's just this first 10 minutes of this, or it's 15 minutes gone. I mean, play's probably only gone for 5 minutes because there's been so many stoppages. But, yeah, they seem to be just able to just tighten it up a little bit more in this term at least.
They've made it a scrap.
They certainly have. 82 points the margin in favour of the Blues. Deegan ran under the footy. Leadham, though, gathered it out of the ruck and just kept running forward. Looked for Taylor, couldn't quite. Umpire's going to ball it up as Pitcher lays on the top of an opposition player.
Byfield just asking the question there of how much more did I need to have that? Wasn't happy. So, 1 down by Thorpe. Nice piece of ruck work there. Pretty well defended though, and the Magpies will clear the area. They'll kick it out towards the wing. Numbers favouring the Blues. Good defensive effort given by Dilger though. Handball over the top, and they'll work it across to Donnellan. Donnellan steadies and then turns onto the left, and he'll just ship it inside 50 for the Tools. Thumped away there by Gunther. And Camerick will see it over the line for a throw in. 82 points the margin midway through quarter number 3 here. And then Saturday afternoon TSL action. Conquering Launceston. Just doing what they do. And they add another one here. Dylan Riley. He's on to 49 goals. The half century looming. Jake Hines just burrowing his way through. Got the handball release. Palfreyman in there as well. Then the snap from Taylor from the pack. He's just offline for a behind.
Taylor with figures of 1-1 for the game. Now it comes from White. Handball's off to Camerick. Camerick's kick goes out looking for Brown. But right on him is Woolley. Quick kick forward by Mason. Goes okay, but it lands in the arms of Holt. Holt with a really short one. Finds Blackberry. Blackberry swings around onto that left. What a kick to Dylan Riley. And here it could be for 50 goals for Dylan Riley. We know he's a beautiful kick of the footy. He's kicked 49 for the season. He's kicked 3 straight for the day. He's looking directly into the sunlight. He's had bags of 10 and 9 and 8 this year. In comes Dylan Riley across the face of goal. It was a pass and finds Jake Hines. Good kick in the end.
Yep, you get the goal assist for it.
If it goes through. Looks okay to me. Jake Hines get his second.
It might have been Joby Harper actually, Chiefs. You got the double,
beg your pardon. Yeah, I got
double one.
The ones mixed up. Apologies to Joby Harper.
Yeah, it's
He's
goal
got
number
his first,
17.
yeah.
But no such issues. So goal assist there. So even when Dylan Riley butchers it, it still comes off and comes up to be a goal assist. And when he stuffs things up, it works out perfectly.
Yeah, Dylan Riley Roses. Maybe he needs a new nickname. Oh, Roses Riley.
He's having some sort of season.
Oh, he certainly is.
You'd imagine the half century is going to come at some point in this third or fourth quarter, the way the ball's getting in there right now. Look out to 89 points.
Apologies to Joby. I missed the double ones on the back there, and I should know him because he's a star of the competition too. Jake Hines isn't too bad either.
Handy duo to have. I mean, they've been flying without Joby Harper. You add Joby Harper back into the mix, and it just makes it all the more terrifying. And how's the ruck work from Thorpe down to Hines? Superb stuff. Hines will send them inside 50. Is Riley down there on the end of this one? Well, he was, but he was outmarked by Gunther. Did really well in the end. He gets the kick out to Rybelt in the back pocket. So some good defensive work there. Here's chip for Nicholson. Pressure came from behind, and the spoil chipped inside 50. Again, not paid. And there'll be a ball up.
White's done a good job down there on Dylan Riley, despite him kicking 3 goals. Hasn't had as many opportunities as I'm sure he would have liked. Ball up again, one down by Leadham this time. They've been huge in the ruck. There's been 3 of them that James Deegan's been going up against in Leadham, Gramwagon, and of course big Cody Thorpe. The free kick's been pulled out here. It's going to Fletcher Seymour. Not sure what that was for, Drew. Did you pick that one up?
He's been holding the ball, but didn't seem to have a lot of prior opportunity to me.
No. Well, they got a better view of it than you and I.
So Fletcher Seymour will come in, and can he make the most of the gift here? No, he doesn't. He shanks it out, and really misses the lot in the end, but just snuck it through from behind.
What did you say to me last game? You said, ball don't lie. Like that. That.
Yeah, ball not lying on this occasion either. It's outside 50 they go. Kamarick has been prolific. Handball over the top, and they bounce off half back. Meredith holds up, waits for the support to come in the form of Rybelt, but didn't have anything ahead of him, so they've just been forced to go sideways. They've done a good job to keep a hold of the ball, and still they maintain possession. Rybelt sends them inside 50, but after all that, just turns it over. They did well to hold up, wait for the runs to get forward, and then blindly kicked it to no one anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was there as House runs into trouble. The kick lands in the arms of Dilger. This is, of course, Richard. Richard's short one's on, finds Kamarick, who's had space all day, and as he said, he's been prolific. He's had plenty of it. Now directing traffic, going into the police force, I'm sure. Little traffic operator, short one here. Goes okay, down towards that man in Thompson, whose kick square them up, looking for Joseph, but working the ball out. Woolley goes long up to the wing.
Outside defensive 50. Good strength shown there by Pitcher. He's had a fine afternoon, and he works them further afield to Gronowagon, and Gronowagon sends them inside 50 where a leading Dylan Riley is, and he'll go back from about 40 out and try and find goal number 50 for the season.
Well, here he is, the big champ. I'll back him in from here.
Yeah.
Could have been my fault if he misses, probably.
Be a brave man to bet against Dylan Riley the way he's been hitting him this season. He strides in, he sets sail for home. It's drifting line, and again just teasing us here, Dylan Riley this afternoon.
Why did I do that?
So
Five, after kicking 4 behinds in the first half, they've kicked 5 for the second half already.
yeah, the reversion to the mean, as the stats community will call it, hitting hard in this third quarter. They couldn't maintain 14 goals for some of the shots they were hitting. Outrageous. McKercher will send them deep again. Riley might get an opportunity here anyway. Into the pack it goes. Big lead him, a little ungainly, brought it down. Chance for Chilcott, fashions a kick forward. There he is. Tumbling was the dangerous pitcher. He's been a real live wire this afternoon.
Yeah, loved his game today. He's been around everything. So out it comes now for Glenorchy. Wyatt finds Gunther. Gunther short to Geared. Oh, a little knee there for Geared. He's come back into the side this week. Looks like he's hurting. His kick was a nice long one, but floating back, too easy for Tuttle. So Tuttle brings the ball inboard. Goes long, down towards Riley and Co, but flying out to meet the mark there is Wyatt, all by himself. First time they've been down there by themselves in the corridor as it comes out now for Rybelt. Rybelt's got a short one, he decides against that and goes longer still. Finds a teammate there, and that was good from Blowfield. A little bit of stunt work there perhaps from Nathan Blowfield. Looks inboard, finds Geared short. Geared on the left. Left it behind to Deegan. On the bottom of the pack, Taylor. Gives it off to McKercher. Out to Blackberry. Blackberry's got Holt. He's going to get it back here, Blackberry. And he's game 213 for the TSL. Nice mark there to Smith. And he's upset because now he's filthy. Look at him. Oh, yuck. Last week's conditions were the reason I don't play footy anymore. And that's the little cherry on top of why I don't play footy. Just the dirt and stuff from the back of the pack, all over his jumper, all over his gear.
Yeah, wouldn't want to be on washing duty on a day like today as this one hits the deck. It's Camerick who just has a rare fumble there. Classy player like Camerick, you don't see that too often. And it's out of play for a throw in. 25 minutes have ticked by in quarter number 3. Launceston well on their way to get another triple-digit victory. Launceston just flying this year. The Magpies, can they try and keep it below that? Might be the point of pride they'll be playing for from here on out. Strong tackles laid here from the defence. We'll have the ball up once more.
Had a few ball ups, haven't we?
Especially this quarter. I think Hawkins will be happy with the way they've been able to shut it down. There's some strength shown from Thorpe there just to deal with his opponent in the ruck. Trying to find a way through was Palfreyman. Eventually it falls the way of the Magpies, and then with a couple of quick kicks they're out onto centre wing. Who will win this one? It'll be Glenorchy. And just taken without the ball, I thought, was Roberts. Play continues here through right. Chips it further afield and finds Tuthill jumping up to get involved. Tuthill will send them further up towards the arc of 50. Smith will go and launch this one deep. A good intercept mark was taken from Gunther, who's immediately bouncing off. Good rebound shown here, but the kick into the middle of the park will just land in that mud pile, and they'll all slide in on that and get nice and messy. And eventually a ball up in the muck.
It's the first time I've seen Ty Turner on the field. I'm not sure whether he's just, because he's playing down forward, just hasn't been able to get a look at it, but it's good to see him out there, the young man. Leadham wins it down. Now it's all Lonnie. That was a rubbish kick by Hines. He's going to go back and get it back. A chance here again as he runs into a tackle. Nice tackle laid by Manson. Oh, he manages to get the handball away. Leadham throws it on the boot. Who's down there for the Launceston side? That was good defensive work. Playing for the free kick there, or applying for the free kick, was Riley. Now it comes out here for McKnight. McKnight's kick coming straight back though, because that's going to be marked there by Palfreyman. Palfreyman from the half forward line. No one really moving for him down there, so he gets called to play on. Wheels around onto his right boot and sends it up to the big Ben, who will all fly, but the only one that really went at it was the young fella there in McKnight, and we'll see that 3/4 time siren sound. And the Magpies have a handy margin of 90 points, 89.
91.
90, okay, sorry everyone, I'm having a mare here. But goal kick is for Glenorchy, 2 to Adam Roberts, 1 to Harrison Gunther for Launceston. It is 3 to Cody Thorpe. All absolute beautiful drop punts off the boot. Dylan Riley's got 3 and 2 to Jack Donnellan, Braden Pitcher and Jay Blackberry, and singles to Jake Hines, Fletcher Seymour, Joby Harper, Hamish Leadham for the game. What do you think, Drewy?
I think it's pretty much been the same story at quarter time, at half time, and now 3/4 time. It's Launceston far too strong. I think Glenorchy better in that third quarter though. Got a few more bodies back behind the ball, and when you had Launceston going inside 50, suddenly there was kind of 18 bodies in the defensive 50, and they weren't just able to hit up a Thorpe or a Riley on a lead into 20 metres of open field. They did a better job, kind of, I think, pressuring the ball carriers and getting bodies back into the space. Unfortunately, the cost of that means you're not going to be offering much threat back the other way.
I think their manning up was much better in that term, particularly around the contest and around those ball ups and not giving anyone space. As we said before, you just can't give blokes like Seymour, Blackberry, Hines, Leadham, Powerfrim and Harper space like that to run through KG5. And of course, they're getting space because they're having the ball tapped down their throats by Leadham, by Cody Thorpe, and by Greenwagon in the forward line, who's played a pretty strong role down there, Big Joe.
They've been pretty dominant out of the ruck, haven't they?
Certainly have been.
And against most teams this year, it is such an advantage they have. There's no drop-off from your first ruck going into your second ruck. Wherever it is on the ground, whoever's competing is generally giving their midfielders first look. And they've just been magnificent again, although, as we've said there, they did a better job that quarter, applying a bit more pressure on the ball carriers. It was far too easy in that first half, and we saw in that third quarter, as a result of it, about 10,000 stoppages.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break here from KG5. Tubes Taylor and Drew Cooling calling for you. We'll come back with this final instalment of this TSL Round 12 match between Glenorchy and Launceston in just a few moments. Stick around, we'll be right back.
mildly.
All right, fourth term about to get underway. Tubes Taylor and Drew Cooling with you. It's a fairly solid margin in favour of Lonnie Blues. 91 points, as Drew Cooling put me right when I was trying to do some quick maths, which is quite simple maths, to be honest, Drew. When it's 111 to 20, you just take off 20 and you get back to 91. I was all over the shop. But we're about to get underway.
Indeed we are. The final term here. Result beyond doubt, only the final margin left to be sorted through here in the final term. Can they keep it below triple figures? We will find out, as it's an early 4-8 inside 50 here, and it's a shot for goal. It's wide of the mark and missing absolutely everything in the end there, a little surprisingly.
Not sure what Jakey Smith was doing there. Just, it was almost like a celebration after he kicked it. The hands went up, or he was upset with himself. I'm not sure, but it's pretty interesting to say the least. But he's played a pretty good game. This is his twin brother, who's not related at all. Brody Powerfrim.
You can tell by all the mud in his shirt. He's been putting himself about.
Yeah.
So they clear defensive 50. Here's the milestone man, Blackberry. Handed it straight to Geared, though. The Magpies through Camerick. Turn. It wasn't a great kick from Camerick. Keeps in bounds, though. There'll be a throw in.
So a minute gone in the first term. No score yet in this final fourth term. And a boundary throw in. The ball might be over here in the Glenorchy pool. No, the umpire has it, ready to go. Is it umpire Bev? Might be. Ball in.
Missed a point at some point.
Did you?
Apparently.
Okay. Here comes Blackberry with pace from half forward. Sends it down towards Dylan Riley. Dylan Riley comes out to meet the footy. He's got a nice shepherd there from Greenwagon. Handball through under the ground. And the umpire's called a free kick.
Pushing the back on Riley.
So Dylan Riley's going to go back and have a shot on goal.
Gulther's looking confused.
Gee,
It's as clear as day.
Yeah, I mean, the free kick was there, but why was he taking it back 3 or 4 metres?
Not too sure, really.
Yeah, okay. Well, Dylan Riley's going to have a shot at his 50th goal for the TSL season in 2021. In comes the Launceston Blues champ on the right boot. He likes it off the boot as he sprayed it. No, it's just snuck in. 50 goals for Dylan Riley for the season. His 4th of the term of the game. His first goal of the term. And there is a great achievement for the superstar Dylan Riley.
Yeah, done it in just 10 games too. An average of 5 goals per outing for Dylan Riley this season. Absolutely magnificent stuff. He is a star of this competition, and no one else in the comp. I'm not sure what's happened in the other games around the league, but no one had breached 20 goals. And he's just brought up 50.
Right, well,
he's 30 ahead of his nearest rival at the moment, pending what's happening around the grounds this afternoon.
Wow, what an achievement for a superstar of the game. We love watching him. Out the ball comes for Blackberry. He's got plenty of assistance, and he decides to go it alone. Does a little bit of dancing in the Dark Mo theme. Now a chance for Holt to get a goal, and he goes bang, and he loves it too, because he normally plays down back, does Grant Holt. Goals for Holt.
Clean pick-up, nice finish, and ominously, I think, for the Magpies, this is more like the first 2 quarters than the third quarter. Blackberry with time and space in the middle of the park. Kicks it in, Holt picks it up on the run and snaps. There were no bodies in close proximity there. And it's kicking off once again here. It has boiled over once or twice this afternoon. And a free kick's been plucked in the midst of all that. It's going to go the way of the Magpies. Well, now the umpire's pointing the other way. He's just directing traffic.
And 50.
Yeah, 50 metres. So, well, I suppose it's not going to really impact things too much in the grander scheme of things, but it'll cut the margin back below 3 figures once again.
Yeah, I didn't see any what actually that started with. It looks like Matt Joseph to come in and just thread the needle. Nicely done by Matty Joseph.
So they'll take it.
They will.
Pretty ugly old afternoon, but they get gifted one there with a free kick and a 50-metre penalty. Get back now to kill from the Blues. Yeah, not too sure what happened off the ball, but it's been a fairly fiery encounter in that respect at times this afternoon. A few little fracas breaking out.
Yeah, I know they're a very proud footy club, Glenorchy, and if they can't win the footy, they'll try and win the fights.
Trying to let's take that away.
Yep. Going to be a good little boxing ring match between these two sides, a little Royal Rumble, although we don't like to see it on the footy field, that's for sure.
There's a few heavyweights out there, but yeah, I think it's fair to say that times have changed a little bit from yesteryear. To see the full-on fights breaking out, and that's probably a good thing as the Rucks go at it once more, and eventually Leadham gets a clear and kick forward. It just comes to a halt in that patch of mud. Good luck picking it up. It'll be like a bar of soap after that. Seymour goes down. Did well. Seymour was clean when others weren't. Takes it, sends him inside 50 to Thorpe. Thorpe just cleverly tapped it down into the path of Holt. Holt couldn't cleanly gather it though. He'll go back in for another crack. He's wrapped up. I think we're going to have another stoppage inside 50 here as the umpire circles. He allowed it to go for a long time. Still they're trying to get it out of there. Eventually the umpire comes in and says we'll ball it up.
Gee, that was great work by Fletcher Seymour out on the wing just to get his sticky fingers on a really slippery ball and get his ball back inside forward 50. Harper gets wrapped up by two. Smith burrowing in. Coming to meet him from behind was Camrick. We'll see a ball up again. Everyone's got that mud all over them now. Thorpe with strength. Gee, that was tough. And it comes for White. White off to Blowfield. Blowfield with a dinky kick. Just bounces out in front of Camrick. We'll see a boundary throw-in.
Blackberry looming once again. The Milestone man, he's had a fine afternoon. Want to add another goal to the tally. Got Launceston off and running with a fantastic snipe from the pocket in the first quarter. 98 points the margin now. And somewhat above three figures once more. This man's been dangerous all afternoon in pitcher. Nothing doing on this occasion. Through for just the minor score. 19 goals, 11 now. 14-4 at one stage, so it's gone back down a little from the first half where they were nailing every shot they had. Clearing kick finds Thompson in space. Thompson's handball put his teammate under a fair bit of pressure though, and first forces the turnover. It'll be picked up by Groenewegen. He was dumped by Rybelt. Worked it further afield though to Pitcher, who turns and just stands one up. But dropping back into space was Harry Gunther. Takes the relieving mark and he chips it across to Geared. Patience out of defence here from the Magpies. They're making their way forward with little dink kicks here. Deegan the ruck, the latest to get on the end of one, and he'll now send them a little bit longer with a raking kick towards half forward. He'll take a bounce out in front of Tuthill, who's happy to seek out the safety of the mountain.
Just looking through the list of Launceston players, there's going to be a fair few that might get a mention from me as far as best players go. I think their rucks have given their midfielders first use of the footy all day. There we go, right on cue. Out it comes now for Hines. Hines goes over the top, finds Wright. Wright gets stripped of the footy. Nice tackle there by Roberts. It was actually Casey Brown. Roberts sends a long one inside forward 50. Standing by himself there was Joseph. Through nicely was Josh Woolley. Off to Smith. Smith's round the corner kick's going to land in the arms of Gunther though. Gunther short to Blackberry in the opposition colours. Can't do that. You can't turn it over and give it to a champion of the footy game like that. Smith going wider still. It's a good kick. Finds a teammate out wide, and your man, James House, you love him. Jamison House. Casey Brown through with pace. Handballs over the top to Chilcott. Chilcott finds a man in the pocket in Taylor, and Taylor goes bang towards goal and hits into the woodwork.
So an even 100 points in the margin now. 126 to 26. The first time this year they've dished out a similar thumping. Blackberry manning the mark. 113 games, the record holder in the TSL, going past Jay Bowden. What an achievement that is. There's a dumping tackle laid by Riley. Won't be rewarded. He searches for goal number 51, having raised the bat earlier this quarter. Just game number 10. With Thorpe to nominate. He's been pretty dominant, the big fella, in the ruck contest today. Wyatt will oppose him and didn't even compete in the end, just let Thorpe have it, who swings the kick forward. And that's a good mark taken there by Roberts, who's been one of the Magpies' brighter sparks today. There haven't been too many winners out there for them, but
I agree with you there, Drewy.
He's fought hard. He's offered them a little bit. This one's picked up by Gear, flicks the handball inside. Poor looking kick, but coming in from the side to compete was Joseph. Smith has sat it on a string in this last quarter. And he'll send them forward again. Good mark taken though, just parked back and taking the intercept in front of Gronewagen. Handball inside to Camerick. Camerick chips it to the wing. That was dropped though to Blackberry. Blackberry just works it forward to Hulk. Hulk got to Taylor. Taylor sends it in the Thorpe direction. Sorry, it was the other big man down there in big lead. Either way, they had a fair size advantage and, well, wasn't backing his set shot ability. Decided that Paul Freeman on more of an angle was more reliable. So the ruckman not backing himself there, Chips.
Well, again, it comes down to a turnover kick from half back that was looking up towards attacking wing for Glenorchy. I think it might have been Camerick, but the turnover to Jay Blackberry, too easy. You get it in the hands of a veteran that's played over 200 games of TSL footy, and it's just string of kicks, handball mark, strictly down to this fella, Power Freeman. And he'll go back and have a shot on goal. And he comes from a toughish angle. Nice side for the right foot up, but he's just sliced it a little. And it's gone through for a behind.
He missed a few in the second half, but it was a slightly tough kick, that one, to be fair. Tuthill couldn't quite complete the mark. It was picked up by Thompson. Tumbled only so far as Woolley, and Woolley just spots up his man Smith, who is in danger of some real leather poisoning here in this last quarter. He has been prolific and might fancy himself from outside 50 here. He's going back. He would take a fair roast, but he's made his intentions abundantly clear. Clearly believes he's got the journey in him. So Jake Smith will let fly from 55 out, doesn't have the journey in him. Gunther got a hand, and Riley snaps from the pocket and finds another one, the 20th of the afternoon. Opportunistic as ever, Dylan Riley, clean at ground level, and just absolutely instinctive, that.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from Dylan Riley. We love watching him. I've watched him 2 games, or called 2 games of his live this year, and he's kicked packs of 10 and 5. Just slowly bumping his average up now to 5.1 goals a game.
Yeah, only North Launceston have been able to keep him off the scoreboard this year, and that's probably why they're the only team that's beaten Launceston this year.
True. So, the margin now 107 points in favour of the Blues. Ball up. Thorpe wins it down. Camerick going back. Rides the bump there of Holt. Gets his kick up to the forward area, or inside forward 50. Taking the ball out of the air there was Meredith. He's tackled high. It's going to be a free kick going to Cooper Meredith. Infringement there by Alex Wright. So Meredith will go back and have a shot on goal. Sniffing around there is Isaac Manson, who was just trying to come in and get a cheap little one. So in he comes. The young man in the Magpie stripes. Looks okay off the boot. It's not going to make the journey. Going back with a flight there. Nice mark. No, over the boundary for a behind. So Meredith has a behind. That goes through for a point. Margin back to 106. Roost comes out long. Flying and taking the mark there is Wright. Down in his haunches is Meredith of the Josh variety. The ball goes out wide, finding Brown. Brown goes longer still to Chilcott. Chilcott gets called to play on.
Used the ball really well for the most part. That one, a slightly awkward looking kick, touched off the boot, and there'll be a ball up at half forward. So the second time this year they've got a hold of Glenorchy. 148 points was the margin when they met up at Windsor Park, and they beaten North Hobart twice by triple digits, 125 and 103. And Glenorchy appears set to become the second opponent that they're going to do twice in the same year by 3 figures. Don't know that many teams would have done that throughout the history of the competition, as this one swung forward by Taylor in the Riley direction, lurking dangerously, and he's wrapped up Harry Gunther here. Couldn't escape. All locked in there. And eventually, we'll have a ball up.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but I actually think one of the better players for Glenorchy has been Darren White, and he's been playing on Dylan Riley, who's kicked 5 goals. Considering how easily the ball's been coming inside forward 50, here's Riley again. But considering how quickly the ball's been coming inside forward 50, this was a day where Dylan Riley, in the early stages of this match, was looking like he was going to kick a bag of 10, 12 goals. So I'm not sure what your thoughts are on that, Drewy.
Yeah, look, he hasn't done a lot wrong, really. Burrowing away here in search of another. Yeah, it reminds me a bit of kind of the goalkeeper in soccer who has 7 go past him but made 15 saves. You know, your best player. There's only so much defenders can do in this situation, as you say. And it's been an onslaught down there today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd probably agree with that. They'll try and get the clear and get geared twice. Had attempts smothered. Oh, good work from Harper stooping low. His handball picked out Roberts though. And then Smith somehow bobbed up with it. And Smith has a snap towards goal. It's bending back. And touched on the line.
By that man.
Yes, indeed.
In Darren White. Smith was celebrating pretty hard there too.
He thought he'd done enough.
Thought he'd done enough.
One little quirk to his game, not that it's been a bad thing, but noticed a couple of times this is rather unique action. He'll kick it this time. He's played on out of the square, then handballed it into the pocket.
Yeah.
not a bad option, it's just something you don't see too often. He's done it a few times.
So the ball comes out here now for Glenorchy into no man's land. It's going to be a free kick going the way of Glenorchy. Just to hold off the footy for Riley Oakley, who's been comparing himself to Ben Cunnington. He wants everyone to call him Cunners, apparently. So, Riley Oakley.
She's all right. Just one of the more universally adored players in the league. Setting the sights high there, I think.
Please call me Cunners. So, out the ball comes now for Hines. The handball comes over the top. Holding the footy, maybe? No, umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up.
Well, that's bold, trying to be going. Go for Lenny Hayes next time. Why not just set the bar high of just the players everyone loves? Never heard anyone say a bad thing about Ben Cunnington. Just got to respect the way that man plays. As Thorpe tries to charge on through. Got it to Seymour, and he's scored it over the line.
I've been going through the list, figuring out who I'm going to give my 3-2-1s to. I'm at a loss as to who to give it to, because you look through the list, you got Blackberry, Seymour, Smith, Powerfreeman, Leadham, Thorpe, Pitcher. And not to mention a bloke called Joby Harper, who's just wandered back into the side. Unbelievable stuff for Launceston to have such depth.
Yeah, it's a formidable looking lineup. They've got stars on every line. It's been a very even effort today. I don't envy you dishing out the 3-2-1 there, Tubes, as Blackberry gets the handball out. Leadham worked it back. Hines, good again. He dived on that one, so he might have a problem here. Perhaps lucky the controlling umpire was on the blind side there and ball it up instead. Ticking towards time on in the fourth here. Leadham just pulled up a little bit proppy there, the big rough, but seems to be okay. Certainly that 3-headed ruck monster they've got has been so instrumental in their dominance at the contest today. And Leadham knocks it back to Hines once more. Had one hand wrapped up, but got a kick away all the same. Holt's moved forward and been effective. He shrugged a tackle nicely there, worked it back to Donnellan. Then the snap from Smith, again doesn't have the journey, but had a very accommodating bounce for Joby Harper in the square. And Joby Harper puts through another one and extends the lead to 113 points.
Well, Drewy, what do? Look at the size of Joby Harper.
Big man.
He's enormous. White's no slouch, but standing next to White too, they're two big men. Joby Harper could play in the ruck, but he's an out-and-out rover.
They've
Ruck
got
rover.
giants all through this team, don't they?
Yeah.
And you'd think if anything was going to even it up in the opposition's factor, it'd be wet weather. Not been the case.
No, it's been slippery out here, but we saw it before with Joby Harper running through the ice skating rink here that is the cricket pitch. His ability to pick up a ball that had rolled through that mud, had it all stick to it, and put both mitts on it and pick it up clean as a whistle.
Yeah.
That's probably been the difference between the two sides, and their ability to get to the contest in numbers as well for the Blues. They've been excellent. So back in the ruck, Leadham wins it down this time. Diving on the footy is Meredith. It's not Meredith at all, it's Thompson. And we'll ball it up. Jay Blackberry just throwing the ball to where he thought the umpire was as he's looking directly at the umpire. Rucks again go at it. Fisted away nicely. Big tackle laid by Blackberry. And we'll see another ball up. It's funny, last week we commentated Glenorchy and Kingborough, and I said that James Deegan and Marcus Gardner were very evenly matched, and it came out and Marcus Gardner had 85 hitouts. But in the moment I was calling the game, it didn't look like he dominated that.
How many were to advantage might be the question.
That's true, yeah. I think the contest was pretty even, but today it's been an absolute domination by the rucks of Launceston in Cody Thorpe, Hamish Leadham, and thrown in there for good measure is Joe Greenwagon. Out the ball comes now for Blackberry. Game 2-1-3. He's going to go down with a victory. I wonder how many games won he's got on his record versus games lost. As the kick comes now from Manson. Big fly over the back. Little falconry work there for the defender who's gone down a little bit lame in Josh Woolley. And we'll see a free kick going to the Blues. It'll go to McKercher. Like this young fella. John Donlan, actually. I do like McKercher, but it's Donlan at the bottom of the pack. Two different looking players, and I've still managed to confuse them, Drewy. I might give the commentary over to you.
I look 52, 53. Don't be too harsh on yourself there, Chiefs. They're obscure numbers. What are you doing up that high anyway?
Different, yeah. Well, they're heavy numbers, aren't they?
This is a rather risky kick, and it'll be chopped off there by Riley Oakley, who doesn't back himself to take the shot. Instead, squares it up, does the team thing, and finds a teammate inside. So I would have liked Oakley to go back and take that one on, but does the team thing, spots up Cooper Meredith, and he'll go back and try and find a consolation marker.
Well, that's what Cunners Oakley will do for you. Unselfish.
Well, if he wants that name, then yeah, that's the right way to go about it.
I've heard that if he wants that name, he's got to start running with a Nokia 3210, the old brick phone. No smartphones for Ben Cunnington. As in comes Meredith. He's kicked one behind already. Make that two.
He's also got to average 20-odd contested possessions a game, so he's going to need to step it up a little bit more in that department too if he wants the Cunners moniker, as far as I'm concerned.
That's true.
Just a little chip. Finds number 11, Joby Harper, who's fantastic returning to this Blues outfit, although he's turned this one over to his opposite number, Harry Gunther. He'll chip one and finds that man in Oakley who'll around. He's not hurt it yet, mate. Not hurt it yet. He's got to build up to that. Sends him deep here. Oh, might have a goal assist. Juggling the mark. That will be paid to Joseph. Did really well in the end. That was a difficult one.
It was a big fly.
Yeah, got up, then had to juggle it on the way back down.
Yep.
Nicely done.
Right off the rubber chest, but then he took a nice scream, and now he's just got to go back and finish the job, Joey.
Matthew Joseph can cut the margin back to 106 here, so I still hope they can get it back below triple digits as he goes in and puts that one through the hay diddle and back to 106, their fifth of the afternoon. And a really nice mark, well rewarded there.
He knows he's making the highlight reel there, Matt Joseph.
Got to look for silver linings on days like that, I suppose, don't you?
And look, credit credit to these Glenorchy players in this second half. They've come out and they've really tried to put the clamps on them. In that second term, they kicked 8 goals. Launceston. In the first term, they kicked 6. They kicked 3 in the third and 4 in the fourth term. So they've stemmed the tide a little bit, Drewy. And around the contest, they've certainly matched up. They've still got too much room, as we see Smith here just get dragged off the footy. Diving in there was Leadham. No free kick given. And the ball up. What you got a little wry smile there, Drewy. What's going on?
I was just wondering how Smith didn't get the free kick. That's all.
That's true.
Wasn't near the football.
Yeah, Leadham gets wrapped up in a nice tackle. We'll see another ball up.
Might be the mercy rule being applied at this point.
Oh, look. Might be. John Gear just walking around on one leg. Out the ball comes now. Dilgett tried to get it away. The big ruckman Deegan throws it on the boot. Bouncing ball inside forward 50. Oh, free kick going there. No, umpire said no. Might have copped one in the jaw there. The young Meredith. Bouncing ball for Holt. Sits up okay. Goes backwards. Finds Smith, who's had plenty of it. Looking for a 50 there too, cheekily Smith. He'll be looking for a bath too after this. Out it comes now for Jamison House. Drewy's favourite player, just taking a bit of me time here to get rid of the footy. 25 minutes gone in the final term. The kick goes way outside and off the boot there of Camrick. And it'll be a free kick going the way of Hines.
So Jake Hines. In the shadows of full time here. Final siren, Cappy too far away. Another huge win coming up for this juggernaut. Chilcott sends it inside. Risky kick that one. Just got it over the head of Oakley. And now Tuthill will send them forward once more. Couldn't pick out Thorpe. Tumbles out the back in the O'Reilly direction. But, good tackle laid by Pitcher. And won't be rewarded. Play continues. Gunther, he lost the ball too. Blackberry, could he cap off his milestone game? Not quite. Was never bending back enough there. Just the minor score as he looked for goal number 2 on another tremendously successful outing for Jay Blackberry, having a fine season. He's the TSL Games record holder. That's a poor kick straight to Alec Wright. And Wright looks up. There's a few leads breaking for him. He wants to go a little bit deeper instead, though, as he just walks it sideways and then pumps it in deep. Fell for the danger man in Joby Harper, who just slots through another one as easy as you like, almost laconic style there. And unfortunately, he might have just tweaked something in the process.
Well, what a return for Joby Harper. 3 goals. And maybe a tweaked groin. He looks all right. He's coming off for a bit of a spell.
How clean is he at ground level?
Well, mate, he's incredible. And how big is he? I'd love to be that body frame. I'm not sure what he does for a living. I'm assuming it's something like moves boxes from here to there and then moves boxes from there to here.
Something physical.
Yes, shifts boxes. The big fella. Margin out to 113 points. Very deep in junk time here at KG5. Ruck contest again won by Leadham. Out it comes to Smith. Smith would love to send one inside forward 50 and does so. I thought he was going to run all the way. Thorpe, big. Cody Thorpe, well, we know he's a beautiful kick of the footy. I'm not sure how many years he's been kicking straight arrow dies up there at Launceston Footy Club. But he's going to go back and have a kick at his 4th.
Too big, too strong.
Exactly. In he comes. The big ruckman power forward. Sends it through for behind. Well, I revved him up. Butchered it.
Well,
it's my fault. I just shouldn't say it. Every commentator knows, don't talk about how good a kick someone is when they're lining up for goal.
Yeah, you got to do it after, unless you're trying to put the reverse stink on them. Just trying that, but yeah, generally a very reliable kick is Thorpe, and he's had himself another fantastic afternoon, just dominating the skies. Not really had a match-up for him, the Magpies, certainly. No one has got the height. Smith, he must have had double-digit disposals in this last quarter. He has just run this one out strong. Chilcott round the outside, went back inside, found Woolley. Woolley sends them inside 50 once more, but the relieving mark is taken by Brown, and that will be how it ends here at KG5. Launceston, 114-point victors, 22-16. They had 38 scoring shots, 148. Glenorchy 5 for 34. A comprehensive drubbing here from Launceston.
Absolutely. Lonnie, we've said it many a time in our media roles that Launceston are the powerhouse. They're the juggernaut of the TSL. They've just got the job done as easy as you like down here at KG5. They'll take the trip back up the Midland Highway with, I'm sure, a couple of ice-cold beverages on the way home. Goal kickers for Launceston. It was 5 to Dylan Riley, 3 packs to Joby Harper, Cody Thorpe, and doubles to Jay Blackberry in game 213. Braden Pitch had a couple, so did Jack Donnellan, and then singles to Jake Hines, Grant Holt, Fletcher Seymour, Brendan Taylor, and big Hamish Leadham. Better players on the day. Well, I could go through the whole list for Launceston. That was a massive team effort. You can't say that anyone on that list of players has had a bad game, but better performers, I thought, Hamish Leadham, Cody Thorpe, and the big Grenwagon in the ruck were very good. Jake Hines, Fletcher Seymour, Joby Harper, Jay Blackberry, Jake Smith, Powerfriman were all very good, and Braden Pitcher in the first half was particularly good. For Glenorchy, I thought Adam Roberts battled hard all day, as did, of course, Ben Camrick. John Geard did as much as he could on one leg in the second half, but had a reasonable game. Harrison Gunther did okay, but I think Darren White and Adam Roberts were probably best on ground for Glenorchy, maybe with Ben Camrick. But the 3-2-1, I'm going with an outsider here, and you're probably going to scold me for it, Drewy. But you'd agree with me on those better players, wouldn't you? Is there anyone I've missed?
Thoroughly agree on what you've dished out so far, Chips.
3-2-1, here it comes.
All right.
3. I'll go in reverse order.
Start with the one.
One to Jake Smith. I thought his second half was amazing. In that final term, he was outstanding. I reckon he had probably 15 touches. Well, I'm sure that Premier Data will give us some sort of idea about that in the coming hours. So 1 vote to Jake Smith, 2 votes, Jay Blackberry in his game 213. I thought his use of the footy was second to none. His ability to find space was excellent. I'm going to give apologies now before I give the 3. Apologies for no votes to Dylan Riley, Fletcher Seymour and Joby Harper. I thought they were excellent all day. The return to form of Joby Harper and the return to the game was excellent. But the 3 votes, Cody Thorpe in the ruck, up forward, taking contested grabs, kicking 3 goals, 1, was excellent all day.
Yeah, not going to hang you out to dry.
Oh, really?
Bargain's
Okay.
fair enough. I'd quibble on the order, but really it'd just be one man's opinion. I think you've nailed the players there. I thought Thorpe was outstanding and probably was the biggest difference, as we see. Just the guard of honour here. Smith playing his 150th.
Yep.
And the record for Jay Blackberry, 213 games, the most in the history of the TSL. So well done to those men.
Yeah, nice little thing for the Glenorchy Footy Club to stay out and see 2 stalwarts of the TSL out of the ground. All right, that is it. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Paul Kennedy would have driven that, and I'm sure Joseph and a few of the leaders at Glenorchy would have been all about that too. All right, so it was a big win in favour of the Launceston Blues over Glenorchy. My name is Tubes Taylor. Drew Cooling's been at my left. At least he was here for the entire game. I was here for 3 3/4 of the game. But until next time, we'll see you at the footy. that.